The creation of DOGE, a new federal agency in the U.S. Can Donald Trump, in his second term, unilaterally create a new federal department, DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency? Yes and no. To start, the creation of a federal agency is a process rooted in the Constitution. Article 1 grants Congress the authority to legislate, including the establishment of agencies. Here's how it works. Identify a need. This could be anything from addressing national security to managing public health crises. Draft legislation. Congress drafts a law specifying the agency's mission, authority, and structure. Approval. The bill must pass both houses of Congress and be signed by the President. Implementation. Once the law is enacted, the agency begins operations, often under an executive department or as an independent entity. Agencies like the Environmental Protection Agency, the Nixon administration, and Department of Homeland Security, the George W. Bush administration, emerged this way to address specific challenges and needs. Now, let's talk about the Economy Act of 1932. Passed during the Great Depression, this law granted the president sweeping authority to reorganize federal agencies. Its primary goal? Reduce government spending and improve efficiency during one of the nation's toughest economic times. In 1932, the United States was in crisis. The Great Depression had devastated the economy, leaving millions unemployed and the government grappling with skyrocketing deficits. To address this, Congress passed the Economy Act of 1932, giving the president significant authority to cut federal spending. This law aimed to reduce the deficit and restore fiscal balance by consolidating functions, eliminating duplicative programs, and reorganizing government agencies. The Economy Act gave the president sweeping powers to streamline government operations. Key provisions included agency consolidation. The president could merge or abolish federal agencies. Salary cuts. The act allowed reductions in federal employee salaries. Veterans benefits. It permitted the trimming of veterans' compensation. However, the act also required congressional approval for most significant changes, ensuring that executive action wouldn't go unchecked. Passed during the Hoover administration, Franklin D. Roosevelt became the first president to utilize it. Upon entering office in 1933, he immediately invoked its provisions to cut veterans' benefits and reduce federal salaries by 15%. These moves were controversial, but aligned with his broader New Deal reforms to stabilize the economy. Subsequent presidents invoked similar powers, particularly during times of fiscal stress. However, the act's impact waned as other legislative tools and budgetary frameworks took precedence in later decades. The Economy Act faced legal challenges, particularly over the president's authority to cut veterans' benefits. In Lynch v. United States, 1934, the Supreme Court addressed this issue. The court, in a 5-4 decision, sided with the government. Signed by FDR, this law allowed the president even broader authority to reorganize federal agencies. A key feature was the creation of the Executive Office of the President, EOP, streamlining the executive branch's operations. This change reflected the growing complexity of government during the New Deal and World War II eras. President Franklin D. Roosevelt used the Economy Acts extensively. His New Deal programs like the Civilian Conservation Corps, CCC, and the Works Progress Administration, WPA, tackled unemployment and rebuilt the economy, reshaping the federal government's role in Americans' lives. Roosevelt wasn't the only president to leverage reorganization powers. After World War II, President Harry Truman used these powers to streamline defense-related agencies like the Department of Defense. This was crucial in transitioning from wartime to peacetime government operations. But not all efforts to reorganize were smooth. In 1935, the Supreme Court ruled parts of the Economy Act unconstitutional, arguing that it gave the president too much unchecked authority. This decision prompted Congress to pass the Reorganization Act of 1939, reinstating reorganization powers but adding a key check. Congress had to approve major changes. The Reorganization Act of 1939 expanded upon the Economy Act's principles. This balance between efficiency and accountability is central to the U.S. system. While presidents need flexibility to address emerging challenges, Congress ensures the democratic process isn't sidelined. Over time, this balance has shaped landmark agency creations, such as the Department of Homeland Security after September 11th, demonstrating how the system evolves with the nation's needs. Today, debates over federal agencies often center on their size, scope, and effectiveness. Proposals for new agencies or restructuring existing ones continue to spark questions about efficiency versus oversight, especially as challenges like climate change, cybersecurity, and public health demand innovative solutions. The creation of federal agencies is a dynamic process shaped by constitutional principles, historical legislation like the Economy Act of 1932, and the evolving priorities of presidents and Congress. It's a story of balance between efficiency, accountability, and the needs of the American people. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.